With early signs that diplomacy might be working, Russia earlier announced that some troops would be returning to their bases, a move cautiously welcomed by NATO and Washington, even though they are yet to be entirely convinced.
The Russian defense minister reported today that some military units are leaving their positions near Ukraine. That would be good, but we have not yet verified that. We have not yet verified the Russian military units are returning to their home bases. Indeed, our analysts indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position. And the fact remains, right now, Russia has more than 150,000 troops encircling Ukraine and Belarus and along Ukraine's border. An invasion remains distinctly possible.
Biden used his remarks to argue that neither the United States, NATO, nor Ukraine were threatening Russia, and that they had no plans to put missiles in Ukraine, as he sought to address the Russian people directly.
We're not targeting the people of Russia. We do not seek to destabilize Russia. To the citizens of Russia, you are not our enemy. And I do not believe you want a bloody, destructive war against Ukraine, a country and a people with whom you share such deep ties of family, history, and culture. 77 years ago, our people fought and sacrificed side by side to end the worst war in history. World War II was a war of necessity. But if Russia attacks Ukraine, it would be a war of choice, or a war without cause or reason. I say these things not to provoke, but to speak the truth, because the truth matters.
He warned that the US and their partners stood ready to impose long-term consequences that would undermine Russia's ability to compete economically and strategically, and affirmed Washington's commitment to uphold NATO's articles.
Make no mistake, the United States will defend every inch of NATO territory with the full force of American power. An attack against one NATO country is an attack against all of us. And the United States' commitment to Article 5 is sacrosanct. Already, in response to Russia's buildup of troops, I've sent additional U.S. forces to bolster NATO's eastern flank. Several of our allies have also announced they'll add forces and capabilities to ensure deterrence and defense along NATO's eastern flank. We will also continue to conduct military exercises with our allies and partners to enhance defensive readiness. And if Russia invades, we'll take further steps to reinforce our presence in NATO, reassure us for our allies, and deter further aggression.
Biden ended by saying the United States and Russia had a shared stake in global stability and their common future as he pushed a diplomatic compromise. He said Washington was ready to pursue diplomacy at the highest level with President Vladimir Putin to reach what he called written understandings to address legitimate security concerns. Worth noting that what is considered legitimate to one side might not necessarily be viewed as such by the other, including whether Ukraine should be allowed to join NATO at any point in its future. Sherman Bryceby's SABC News, New York.